I see it as a minister. Government officials are being attacked. Government officials are being beaten up. Government officials to the level of directorship. Then I'm sitting in my office doing what? How will such officials carry out their functions again when they know that their principal or their boss cannot protect them? Not as private individuals, as government officials. So many people have had problems. Chief Olusegun Passenger, former a general, former head of state, former president, he will call me on phone. Minister, I look good at this problem of land here. Please carry. I will solve the problem. That is former head of state too. Former elected president. We have the courtesy of calling the minister. Look, I have this problem. I have this problem. See how you can look into it. General Tiwadanjuma would call you. Look, there is this and this and this. These are people who, they're all retired generals. These are people who cause discipline. They didn't bother because they were former chief of minister. They were former president. They never sent soldiers. They never sent anybody to go and attack anybody. They just call you. And respect begets respect. I have to respect them. And I'll tell them, sir, don't worry. I will sort out the problem. And I will do. I won't even talk about other people who are highly placed. They will come to you. Mr. Minister, maybe we didn't know of this. If we knew, we would have done it like this. When a serving Major General attacked the development control, I wrote a letter. The President Chief of Defense Staff was Chief of Army Staff then. I wrote a letter, sir. See. Because that is a serving military officer. That if anything goes wrong, he's still under the authority, under the control of the military. When I came on board, before them, President Jonathan had awarded a contract to develop another city, which was close to the military, but awarded a contract, not me. A Federal Council presided over by the CNC awarded the job. The contractor went there, he was just away. I wrote a letter. We met. The late Chief of Army Staff, Alabangi, was there. The former Chief of Defense Staff was there. These same ministers of defense, they were all there. We all met. I said, look, it is not good, this government and government. I mean, it's not, let's see how we can resolve this matter. I never one day, I respect institutions. And I know what it takes. Even as a governor, nobody no governor will say that they supported the military more than me. So I know. But how do you see a private individual knowing fully well that you are against the law? It is not military versus government, no. If it was military, I would have written to them that, look, military, why are you doing this? This is a private individual. Land was not allocated to him. Land was allocated to a company called Santos. Listen, in 2007 for parks and recreation. They applied to the former minister for change of use. The minister refused. The man went, started selling land. Maybe the former chief of Naval staff fell into their scam, sold. This government property is not your property. If government officials came to say, look, what are you doing here now? This is not, government has sat under the ministerial committee and taken back every land under parks and even under secretariat, because we felt that there are a lot of delays, suits, litigations. We said, no, we won't continue with that. You send this, so you start beating government officials. Not private, but government officials, beating them. Senior government officials, you were beaten. You couldn't even say, okay, let me get to the minister. See how he can help us, No, not to like that. Simply because you had a relationship with the military. And government cannot enforce laws because you are attached or you had a relationship with a particular institution, or you come from a particular place. Who does that? Who does such thing? How will this country progress?
Well, it's unfortunate, and these are the kind of things that deters our development. You are aware that the land departments and the development control have been mandated to see where there are illegal development going on and land grabbing. And when this was brought to my attention, I did instruct them to make sure that nothing takes place, in as much as they did not have any legal paper in terms of building approval or even the acquisition of the land. And when they came here, I was informed that the soldier of the military had to chase them away. And I thought probably they may be acting illegally. And so today, while I was in the office, while they came to implement the directive that was given to them by myself, I was called that the military have taken over the place. And I have to come by myself to see things for myself. It's really unfortunate. And you heard what the officer said he was sent by the former chief of Naval staff. And I don't understand how somebody who attained that position and you see that he has a problem cannot approach my office to say, look, this is what is going on, this is what is going on. But simply because he's a military man, he could use that to intimidate Nigerians. I'm not one of those kind of persons that will succumb to blackmail or intimidation. And you can imagine where you cannot even prove where are the documents. And the director of development control is there. I said, look, I was here. I said, bring the documents. You don't have the documents. Bring the approval for building. You don't have it. And how can we continue to allow lawlessness to prevail in this country? What about those who don't have the military? What about those who don't have security? It has gotten to a level where when government officials are carrying out their job, you go and bring security to intimidate them against government officials. I will not accept that. I've spoken to the Chief of Defense Staff and I've spoken to the Chief of Naval Staff, and they have assured me that, please, they have to resolve the matter. And we're not coming here to have a shootout with anybody to cause chaos or not. But what I can say, I would not allow it to happen. The way we have carried our jobs in other areas, in the same way it will be done here. He will not carry out this illegal development and land grab simply because he was a former chief of Naval staff. I would not allow that. And that's the situation where we are.
I think we are okay. Thank you very much.